Hi, I'm Pam, and I'm here to talk about video games. Today's video is about Volunteer the Ascension, a brand new metroidvania with some JRPG inspirations developed by Winter Crew Studios. This is a sponsored video. I will be telling you about the game and my thoughts on what I've played from it so far. All of the opinions here are still my own. Volunteer the Ascension is releasing in early access on Steam on March 17th. You play Hira, a mysterious child who was found out in the wilds and adopted by his mother and brother. He is out to become a hunter, but during the course of proving himself, the unexpected happens. He finds himself separated from his family and told that he's fated to stand against the ancient gods. You'll need to get stronger, gain new abilities, and gather a cavalcade of allies to help you explore this gorgeous world and fulfill your destiny. Volunteer the Ascension immediately stands out for its art style and hand-drawn animations. If you're tired of Metroidvanias feeling a little gloomy, this is a breath of fresh air with a vibrantly colorful world and characters. Each character has a ton of personality in their designs, their movements, and their voice acting. The enemies are frequently so adorable that I felt bad killing them. The world is filled with beautiful environments that are filled with tiny animations that bring it to life. I particularly like all the destroyable objects like rock piles and plants, and the punchy sound effects makes hitting things feel very satisfying. Hira feels very good to control and has a good baseline of abilities. He can attack in any direction, including a diagonal downward pogo and backstep to get out of danger. He can also deflect attacks if you time things correctly. This game is quite mechanically dense. There are a ton of systems to play with and ways of making progress, resulting in a game that constantly feels like it's rewarding you and helping you improve in small and large ways. I'm going to focus on some of the standout aspects for me. First, you get a home base. I love a good hub world. You take refuge in the Temple of Horus. While at first it seems quite barren, as you travel the world, you'll be meeting and recruiting people. The characters that will help you on your journey are called Fateful Bonds. They not only take up residence at your hub, they can also accompany you while exploring. You can equip 3 bonds at a time. Each character gives you a passive buff, along with an active ability that you can use in combat or possibly to help with exploration. Each character is also looking for something. Maybe it's a special herb hidden throughout the world, ancient texts to find, or just uncovering more of the map. Doing these things will increase your bond level, making them stronger in combat and also likely giving you some kind of permanent improvement. The Temple of Horus is also where you will unlock new Ascensions, which are the skills like double jump and dash that will help you uncover more of the world, and hunter skills, which are combat abilities. You get a fair amount of choice in terms of how you want to improve Hira. For example, when I got access to the Ascensions, I could have picked double jump or dash first. One of the other ways you level up are in mastery skills. These use a currency called Fated Points. In each tier of mastery, you can choose 3 of 6 basic skills which focus on attack, defense, or utility. Each gives a small stat boost, plus an effect like increasing basic attack damage, preventing heals from being interrupted, or vacuuming up currency that drops from enemies. If you are at all an impatient player like I am, take that shard vacuum immediately. You also get to choose one of 2 more intense combat-focused skills like Berserk or extra attacks on your combo. Between the masteries and your choice of bonds to equip, you can really tailor your gameplay to any situation and your personal preferences. The world is a ton of fun to explore, and even in this early access version is quite large. There's an incredible amount of interconnectivity within and between each zone. I was constantly faced with multiple directions that I could explore in. There are deserts, forests, underwater areas, factories, lava, and mountains. There are plenty of shortcuts to open to make backtracking more efficient, plus a good amount of fast travel points, which you get access to quite early on. The fast travel shrines are also where you can rest and can re-equip bonds or invest in new skills. Once you've unlocked the dash, you can also zoom around quite quickly. The world is represented with a quite wonderful map, which you can view in multiple different ways. There's the big overview, which looks like a lovely animated painting. Then there's the main map you'll be using, with a detailed, accurate outline of each area and important things marked. You can pin screenshots of areas to your map so you know why you want to go back to them later. A mechanic I'm very happy to see more Metroidvanias taking advantage of. One minor complaint I have is that the map icons are a bit too big and can sometimes block too much of the map unless you're zoomed right in. I also think it would be a good idea to have normal map pins in addition to the screenshots. This brings us to my favorite menu screen in the game, the faded goals. Is it nerdy to be really excited about a menu? Probably, but too bad. This screen shows an outline of each area you've discovered with the percentage of completion marked for each one. It also gives you a breakdown of each type of thing to find in each area and shows how many you've gotten. A brief look at these shows you just how much stuff there is to find in each zone. Exploration is one of the ways that you earn faded points for masteries. Once you've found all of a type of item in a zone, you collect these points. You also get them from killing certain numbers of enemies in each zone, recruiting characters, and unlocking new ascensions. As someone who loves checking things off to-do lists, I was revisiting this screen often. Exploring the world is really fun and generally chill in terms of difficulty on normal mode. There are areas where the platforming difficulty gets stepped up a bit, or locked in combat rooms that provide more of a challenge, but overall I found things satisfying without being too frustrating. Until two bosses near the end that seem exponentially more difficult than anything else I had seen. Less a difficulty curve and more a difficulty wall, even when I switched it to easy mode, so I think that could use some balancing. There is also a harder mode if that's what you're into, though I didn't try it. I'm happy to say that there's no contact damage when it comes to enemies, and if you fall into a pit or something, you just lose a little health and respawn close by. On death, you go back to the last checkpoint and lose just a little bit of currency. I actually didn't even realize I was losing anything until a ways in. I'm also glad to say that the game allows you to rebind all your buttons and choose whether to move with the stick or the D-pad. My biggest complaint about the game is that I can't play the whole thing right now. The developers are very interested in community feedback, which they will collect throughout the early access period to balance and polish the game. The early access version includes approximately 35% of the game, which includes 10 areas, 10 faded bonds, 9 bosses, 2 tiers of mastery skills, plus a lot more. There is a lot of content here, and a good 12 to 15 hours of gameplay depending on your playstyle. I really like what I played of Fallen Tier: The Ascension. It's bright and beautiful and feels really good to play. The exploration and huge variety of things to find and ways to progress is what excites me most about the game, and I look forward to seeing even more of its world. You can purchase Fallen Tier: The Ascension in early access on Steam for $19.99 right now. There is a link to the Steam page in the description below. Thanks very much to CMD Studios for sponsoring this video and making this gorgeous game. Again, though the video is sponsored, all opinions about the game are my own. If you want to see more, check out some of my other Metroidvania reviews. I have a Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.